Have you ever felt overwhelmed by life's constant challenges, wondering if there's a better way to navigate them? Do you sometimes find yourself reacting to situations rather than thoughtfully responding, leaving you with regret? Are you searching for timeless wisdom that can help you master yourself in today's chaotic world? Today, I want to share with you 16 powerful Stoic lessons for mastering yourself, inspired by the wisdom of ancient philosophers and refined through years of practical application. These aren't merely philosophical concepts, but battle-tested principles that will transform how you face adversity, build mental resilience, and create a life of purpose. Whether you're new to Stoicism or have been studying it for years, these lessons will provide you with the tools to become the architect of your own life. So let's begin this journey together, exploring how ancient wisdom can help us thrive in the modern world. Remember, it's not about achieving perfection, but making continuous progress. These 16 lessons are your roadmap to becoming the best version of yourself, starting today. Lesson number 1. Seek discomfort deliberately. The ancient Stoics understood something that modern psychology has only recently confirmed. Growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Think about an area in your life where you've been playing it safe. Perhaps it's speaking up in meetings, starting that creative project, or having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding. The Stoic approach isn't to wait until you feel ready, but to deliberately seek out these challenges, knowing they are the training ground for your character. When you consistently put yourself in situations that test your limits, you develop a resilience that cannot be gained through comfort. Ask yourself, what uncomfortable situation could I put myself in today that would help me grow? Remember, the discomfort you feel is simply the sensation of your comfort zone expanding, of your character being forged. Lesson number 2. Guard your influences vigilantly. The people and information you allow into your life shape who you become. Epictetus advised, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you." Consider the 5 people you spend the most time with, as they are directly influencing your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Are they pulling you toward greatness or mediocrity? The same applies to the books you read, the shows you watch, and the social media you consume. These are not neutral forces in your life. They are either elevating or diminishing you. Make a deliberate choice about who and what you allow to influence your mind. Create boundaries around toxic relationships and low-quality information. Surround yourself with those who embody the virtues you aspire to develop. Your environment inevitably shapes who you become, so design it intentionally. Lesson number 3. Master your response to events. Perhaps the most powerful Stoic teaching is that it's not events themselves that affect us, but our interpretations of them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about a recent situation that upset you. Was it the situation itself or your judgment about it that caused your suffering? When you face adversity, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, what is within my control here, and what isn't? Then focus entirely on what you can control, your own response. This shift in perspective transforms you from victim to creator, from passive to active. By mastering your response to events, you reclaim your power in any situation life presents. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but rather choosing how to channel them productively. Lesson number 4. Protect your time like treasure. Of all resources, time is the most precious and yet often the most squandered. Seneca lamented, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." In today's world of endless distractions, protecting your time requires vigilance and intention. Begin by conducting a time audit, noting how you spend each hour for a week. You might be shocked at how much time disappears into mindless scrolling, unnecessary meetings, or activities that don't align with your values. Learn to say no to commitments that don't serve your highest purpose. Create boundaries around your time for deep work, relationships, and self-care. Remember, every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Choose wisely, for how you spend your days is ultimately how you spend your life. Lesson number 5. Practice deliberate hardship. The Stoics regularly engaged in voluntary discomfort to strengthen their resilience. Seneca advised occasionally living as if you were poor, even for just a few days each month. This practice builds your capacity to endure difficulty and reduces your fear of challenging circumstances. In modern terms, this might mean taking cold showers, fasting for a day, sleeping on the floor, or walking instead of driving. These small hardships train your mind to focus on what you can control rather than external comforts. They remind you that your well-being doesn't depend on ideal conditions. By intentionally embracing minor discomforts, you develop the mental toughness to handle life's inevitable major challenges with grace and equanimity. Lesson number 6. Focus on service to others. True fulfillment comes not from self-centered pursuits, but from contributing to something larger than yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What brings no benefit to the hive brings none to the bee." Each morning, ask yourself, how can I be of service today? This shifts your focus from self-absorption to purposeful contribution. Look for opportunities to add value in your relationships, work, and community without expectation of recognition or reward. The paradox of service is that in giving to others, you receive immeasurable returns in purpose, connection, and meaning. When self-centered concerns about status and validation fall away, a natural joy emerges from simply being useful. By focusing on how you can make others better, you inevitably become better yourself. Lesson number 7. Practice daily reflection. The Stoics emphasized the importance of regular self-examination. Seneca wrote, "Each day acquire something that will fortify you against poverty, against death, indeed against other misfortunes as well." End each day with a period of reflection, asking questions like, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What could I do better tomorrow? This practice develops self-awareness and accelerates growth. It's like having a personal coach reviewing your performance daily. Don't judge yourself harshly for mistakes, but view them as valuable lessons. This reflective practice helps you identify patterns in your behavior and make conscious adjustments. Over time, this habit of reflection becomes a powerful force for transformation in your life. Lesson number 8. Cultivate present moment awareness. The Stoics understood that much of our suffering comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Seneca observed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." Practice bringing your attention fully to whatever you're doing right now. Whether you're having a conversation, eating a meal, or simply breathing, give it your complete attention. Notice when your mind wanders to past regrets or future concerns. Then gently bring it back to the present moment. This practice of mindfulness isn't about achieving some special state, but simply about being fully engaged with what is. The present moment is where life actually happens, and it's the only point in time where you have any power. Lesson number 9. Embrace the view from above. The Stoics practiced a meditation called the view from above, imagining themselves looking down on their lives from a great height. Marcus Aurelius suggested contemplating the infinite time before your birth and the equally infinite time that will follow your death. This cosmic perspective helps put your current concerns in their proper context. When you're feeling overwhelmed by a problem, zoom out and consider it from this expanded viewpoint. How important will this issue be in a month, a year, 10 years? This practice doesn't diminish your legitimate concerns, but helps you distinguish between what truly matters and what doesn't. It reminds you of your place in the vast universe, bringing both humility and liberation from trivial worries. Lesson number 10. Practice gratitude deliberately, while not explicitly labeled as gratitude. In Stoic texts, appreciation for what we have is central to Stoic practice. Epictetus advised, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Each morning, identify 3 specific things you're grateful for. Don't just name them, but feel the gratitude deeply. Consider what your life would be like without these blessings. This practice shifts your attention from what's lacking to the abundance already present in your life. It counteracts the brain's negativity bias and creates a foundation of contentment from which you can pursue improvement without desperation. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into sources of joy and builds resilience for challenging times. Lesson number 11. Prepare for challenges in advance. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, to prepare themselves for potential challenges. Seneca wrote, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." Each morning, spend a few moments contemplating what difficulties you might face during the day. Ask yourself, what could go wrong today, and how will I respond? This isn't negative thinking, but practical preparation. By mentally rehearsing potential challenges, you reduce their emotional impact when they occur and prepare effective responses. Like a firefighter who drills regularly, you'll be ready to face difficulties calmly when they arise, rather than being overwhelmed by them. Lesson number 12. Develop personal integrity. The Stoics placed tremendous value on integrity, living in alignment with one's principles regardless of external circumstances. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Integrity means keeping promises to yourself and others, speaking truthfully, and acting in accordance with your values even when it's difficult. It means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. This alignment between your beliefs and actions creates an unshakable foundation for self-respect. When you compromise your integrity, you create inner conflict that undermines your peace of mind. By consistently acting with integrity, you build trust with yourself and earn the authentic respect of others. Lesson number 13. Focus on your circle of control. The Stoics distinguished between what we can control and what we cannot. Epictetus wrote, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." Your circle of control includes your judgments, decisions, and actions. Nothing more. Your circle of concern includes everything else: politics, the weather, other people's opinions, and countless other things. Anxiety and frustration come from focusing on your circle of concern while neglecting your circle of control. Practice identifying what aspects of any situation are within your control, then direct all your energy there. This shift in focus transforms you from helpless victim to empowered actor, regardless of external circumstances. Lesson number 14. Embrace change as natural. The Stoics recognized that change is the only constant in life. Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice." And the Stoics built their philosophy on this understanding. Practice viewing change not as a disruption to be resisted, but as the natural flow of life to be accepted. When you experience loss or transition, remind yourself that change is not happening to you personally, but is simply the nature of existence. This perspective doesn't eliminate the pain of difficult changes, but removes the added suffering that comes from fighting reality. By embracing change rather than resisting it, you develop the flexibility to adapt to life's ever-shifting circumstances with grace and resilience. Lesson number 15. Practice simplicity. The Stoics advocated for simplicity in lifestyle, recognizing that complex needs create vulnerability. Seneca, despite his wealth, regularly practiced living simply to maintain his freedom from dependence on luxury. Examine your life for unnecessary complications, possessions that require maintenance, commitments that drain your energy, or relationships that create drama. Simplifying doesn't mean living like an ascetic, but rather being intentional about what you allow into your life. Ask yourself, does this add real value or just complexity? When you reduce the noise in your life, you create space for what truly matters: peace of mind, meaningful relationships, and purposeful work. Lesson number 16. Find the opportunity in adversity. Perhaps the most transformative Stoic principle is viewing adversity as opportunity. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." When facing hardship, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this? Every setback contains a seed of equivalent or greater benefit if you have the wisdom to find it. A job loss can lead to a more fulfilling career. A relationship ending can create space for personal growth. An illness can deepen your appreciation for health. This isn't toxic positivity, but a practical approach to finding value in inevitable challenges. By reframing adversity as opportunity, you transform what could break you into what makes you stronger. I hope these 16 Stoic lessons serve as a guide on your journey toward mastering yourself. Remember, implementing even one of these principles can create profound change in your life. The path of self-mastery isn't about perfection but consistent progress. Which lesson resonated most with you? Consider starting there, applying it daily until it becomes second nature, then moving on to another. If you found value in these timeless principles, please support this channel by liking and subscribing. Your engagement helps us continue sharing this ancient wisdom that remains so relevant in our modern world.